Hello, and welcome to this episode of Dig Deeper. My name is Site Supervisor Anna Shackelford, and we are currently at our North Tower site. Now, the last time y'all saw this site, we did not have enough time in that episode to talk about everything. So last time we concentrated on our field school test units. Today we're going to move back towards where our original test units were. And so that is the location of our original pit feature that we were interested in, as well as our mud and stud post holes and a section of the 1607 Eastern Palisade. Now, you may remember in some of our past videos we talked about our mud and stud post holes, and here you can actually see that the colonists are digging the structural posts first. So those are these squares of orange clay with our intact molds in here, and so these molds are going to be the locations of those structural posts. You can see they are cut by this almost L shape from what we can see right here. This is the sill trench. So again, this is a trench that the colonists are intentionally digging through these post holes that they dug, and this would be the location of those wooden studs. This is the location of the actual wall of this structure. Now, one of the other features in this test unit that we're still having a slightly hard time seeing, it has clarified somewhat throughout our excavations, but that is our 1607 palisade right here next to me. And we're also still having a hard time seeing exactly how that palisade interacts with this mud and stud. I'm now sitting along about a 10-foot section of our eastern palisade, and so that is this line that we have scored throughout here. And we're having a hard time seeing distinct molds within this ditch fill. So those molds are where those actual timber posts would have been placed within the trench here. As we excavate down further, we may be able to clarify those post molds. Part of what's making it hard to identify this section of palisade is that it's actually cut by multiple features. So right here next to me, you can see we have two post holes right here cutting through our palisade. It's not just our palisade that's been cut by more features that we weren't necessarily anticipating. As we've taken down the rest of this test unit, we started identifying more and more features throughout this whole area. Our pit feature that we're interested in as well, part of the reason we were having such a hard time seeing the edges higher up are because it's actually cut by two post holes. So let's go take a look at some of these other features we're starting to find in this test unit. Here's one of the features that we identified as we were trying to chase some more of our mud and stud post holes. We actually have what looks like a second pit feature here. So that would be this large circle of clay right here. And then you can see it's actually looking more like a bullseye right now. So all of this stuff going on in the center are actually separate features. Where the clay drops out right here could be some kind of potential post hole dug through this pit after it's filled in. And in the very center here, outlined by this brick, we have another potential post hole again, cutting through that second feature, cutting through the original pit right here. So now all around me, you can see we have all sorts of features cutting into our test unit. We've got all sorts of potential post holes scattered throughout the area. Some of these potential post holes are also large enough where they could be other potential pit features. We're not going to know for certain until we dig down a little bit further to help clarify the feature and see what kind of artifacts we're getting out of there. So here we are next to our early James Fort period pit feature. This section over here probably hasn't changed a whole lot since you've seen it last. We've only trowel cleaned it. However, over in this section, we can now actually see the edges of our pit. And I mentioned earlier that we had a couple of post holes cutting through it that were making it very difficult to see higher up, and we can now see those very clearly over on this side as well. So now we can see the exact blueprint of where we need to dig to start excavating this pit feature. Now we are very excited to actually excavate this pit, see what kind of artifacts we've been getting out of here, because just by uncovering it, we've been seeing a large assemblage. So we have all sorts of pieces of faunal remains, animal bones sticking out of here, lots of different pieces of native ceramics. You can see we have some pieces of lead shot in here. We've had numerous pieces of brigandine armor coming out of this pit. Just the other day, we actually took out a very large section of it. We're also getting pieces of Frecken, an early German stoneware. And then over in this divot, over in here, we excavated out some sort of a small hand tool. It looked like a mini pickaxe of sorts. Thank you for watching this episode of Dig Deeper. Stay tuned to see what we got out of our pit feature.